What is up, everyone? It's DPX, and this can be how my videos turn out now. You see, every end of the year, I count down my thoughts on what the best games of the year are. And don't worry, I'm doing that. I got that coming for you. Don't worry. But, only the movies I've seen and reviewed. There's been one more movie that I haven't reviewed yet I've seen that is in this video. I will be ranking. So, it's something I've never done before, and this is only my opinion. When my list about the best games of the year is more like my own opinion combined with like popular opinion. So, let's go. This is 14 movies I've seen and reviewed, ranked from worst to best. Let's get this started. So at number 14 is Venom. This one just saddens me because, Venom's probably one of my favorite supervillains in comics, and is probably my favorite Marvel villain, period. So I really wanted a good movie from Venom, but that's just not... I don't think it's as bad as some people say it is. I also don't think it's as good as other people say it is. There are just many uncomfortable scenes, and many things that make no sense. Like, the climax had Venom and Anti-Venom fighting. However, it was like in a dark setting, and you couldn't tell who was who. And, like, a lot of stuff just made no sense. This one was probably my biggest disappointment of the year. At number 13 is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Now, this one, I gave a pretty good review. I gave an 8 out of 10. But, a constant problem with my reviews is that I don't really give myself enough time to reflect on what I had just seen or played, because this happens with my games as well. So, they suffer, and I end up not agreeing with them. That being said, there are a lot of problems with Ralph Breaks the Internet. The whole plot is, at first at least, is, Ralph and Vanellope go out to get a new Sugar Rush wheel because someone broke the Sugar Rush wheel in a sequence that made no sense at all. And then they try to get enough money. Somewhere in the middle of the movie, though, they go to this place called Slaughter Race, and probably an original thing, but you go to this place called Slaughter Race, and Vanellope wants to stay there, and that becomes the plot. So the plot about getting the new wheel and getting enough money for that is not as important now as is the other plot. Like, what the hell? But, it's, not only that, but a lot of the jokes reference, like, old memes, and they just make you cringe. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. It's not like, oh shit, this is bad, what a lot of other people are saying. I had high hopes for this because I love the original Wreck-It Ralph, but this one was a disappointment the more I think about it. At number 12 is Solo, a Star Wars Story. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll defend any of the newer Star Wars movies. I think they are really good, and I think the problems are over-exaggerated. But with Solo, I wanted to be rather optimistic about it going in, because I did hear a lot of reshoots and production issues going on, and I heard it didn't have the greatest reviews ever. I still wanted it to be good, and I got an alright movie. It could be better, but, a lot of people also went into this movie hating it, or just boycotted it, but the ones that went into hating it, they hated it because of how Disney is, pumping out all these solo stories, Star Wars stories rather, and they're unnecessary. This one, I know why they did this, and that's because they have to start off with Han Solo. If they want to get to, Obi-Wan or Darth Maul or Boba Fett, they gotta start off with Han Solo, because he's, one of the, original names who's alive in all 3 original trilogy movies. That's probably why. However, this one was some missed potential. I really hope Episode 9 is good, though. At number 11 is Ready Player One. Yeah, I was way too nice to this movie when it came out, giving a 9.5 or something. And I'm sorry, Gus. I'm sorry. I know you love this movie, but it's not as good as I thought it was. There is the fact that it's unfaithful to the source material, but just about all book-to-movie adaptations have that issue, with a few exceptions that became timeless. But this movie just makes no sense, especially in the context of the book. And, a lot of the characters' motives also don't make any sense. Like, at the end, how Parzival, or Z, whatever the fuck you want to call him, decides to turn off the Oasis, which is this game they log into all the time. He decides to turn it off every Tuesdays and Thursdays, instead of him just logging on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's kind of dumb, but I enjoyed it. I liked all the references, all the Easter eggs. It was a good ride. Just, it could have been a lot better now that I think about it. At number 10, cracking the top 10, is Aquaman. Aquaman is a movie I just saw yesterday, and I put my review yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. I don't know. I don't know when this video goes up, and I don't know when you're watching this. This is definitely a step in the right direction for DC. Sorry about all this lighting, by the way. Not in the best room for this right now. But it's a step in the right direction. It could have been better, but, for a movie about Aquaman, this was good. I'm not trying to trash Aquaman. I'm one of the few people that thinks he's a good superhero, and I'll defend him just like the newer Star Wars movies. Comment below if you're pro or anti-Aquaman. But this does have some problems, like that one desert scene where it just looks like they were green screened onto a desert, a bad image of a desert. It would be like if I took this video right now, used a chroma key, and then put it on some shitty image of a desert. It looked bad. That was only one scene, though. That was not the whole movie. But then there's the character of Black Manta and the Ocean Master, where Black Manta was way more interesting than the Ocean Master, yet they focused more on the Ocean Master, and Black Manta was almost sidelined, which bothered me, because I really like Black Manta. But, it's a good movie, I'd say. Just good, maybe, and it's definitely a step in the right direction for DC. At number 9 is Halloween. What a breath of fresh goddamn air. After all the shitty Halloween movies after the first one, and some people like to say that the second one and H2O are pretty good, I don't really remember much of those. I have seen the first one, and I remember that one being good. But this one was pretty good, though it did have problems, like how it should have really focused on Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, but instead it focused on a little bit on this stupid high school dance that was unnecessary, and it's still a good movie if you want to see if you want to see Michael Myers kill people, now that sounds weird now that I think about it, and now that I said that out loud, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. And it just feels, it feels at times half-assed, and I think it's bad that I found a few scenes funny that weren't supposed to be funny. Maybe that's just how I am, but it was a good movie, and if you like the Halloween movies, or if you're interested in this, you should give it a whirl. At number 8 is Bohemian Rhapsody. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I may have gotten me a bit bored at times, which is never a good thing. But this movie is a lot of fun, and it's a good way to appreciate Queen's music. And it's unfortunately, though, one of the biggest problems with this movie, and it's something I don't think I touched on in my review, which, how the fuck could I not touch on this? This is a huge problem, actually. And it's that it's very unfaithful to the to the actual story of Queen and Freddie Mercury. Like, the whole part where the band broke up, that never happened in real life, yet was a huge part of the movie. That bothered me. And how they thought, like, two people fucking in a fight, and then some guy just thought the tune of Another One Bites the Dust was actually how that song became a thing. It was not. It definitely wasn't. I know that did not happen. But if you want to watch a movie and hear a bunch of Queen songs, this is the movie for you. It's an interesting and entertaining movie with a huge problem, but if you just overlook that, it's good. You should watch it. At number 7 is AntMan and the Wasp. Now this was, if you followed my reviews throughout this entire year, you'd know that this is the movie on this list that I did not review, because I saw it almost over, actually, a month after it had come out. So there's not much of a point in reviewing it. It would be old news at that point. Though I did review Aquaman a week late. But that's beyond the point. I liked it. I thought it was good. I know a lot of people who did see it first didn't like it that much. And aside from the fact that you're seeing this after two really big Marvel movies that came out earlier and it takes place in the same universe, I don't see why you don't like it that much. I mean, it's your opinion, but it was good. And that after credits scene, oh boy, that after credits scene. I don't want to spoil things for you, but whoo. At number 6 is Deadpool 2. And this was, I thought, really good, actually. A lot of people's problems with this, and this was a problem with me as well with this movie that I don't think I touched on in my review either. Man, my reviews suck, but they really hyped up the X-Force in the trailers. But then, when they came, it's like, yeah, I think I might need a bathroom break, I don't know. And that kind of did bother me. But it's really funny. It's a Deadpool movie. What you'd expect from a Deadpool movie. I like it. It's worth a watch. And that after credit scene. Oh boy, that after credit scene. At number 5 is Creed 2. I never really got too into the Rocky movies and the first Creed, but I decided to see this one anyways, and it was really good. The soundtrack, the action, and it's more of like a drama movie, but if the drama wasn't even good, this would not be this high up on the list. But I like this. Maybe it's like one of the most fresh in my brain, which is why it's this high. But I think it was a good movie, like a really good movie that definitely deserves a watch if you like the Rocky movies and the first Creed. And if you're just interested in this movie, I have to add that. With the build-up to the fight between Adonis Creed and Victor Drago was great. I liked it. And the ending was nice, though I hope there's a third one, because this ending did sort of make it seem like there's no more after this. And I don't feel like this would be the best way to go out, but I can't complain if it is. That just contradicted myself. At number 4 is Incredibles 2. This movie finally came out. I mean, how long has it been since the first Incredibles? I don't know, I'd say like 2003, 2004. I was really young at that point. But it's good. A lot of people didn't think that Incredibles needed a sequel, but I think just because of how big and how beloved of a movie the first Incredibles was, that a sequel would have been great. And it was. It was great. In fact, I still am having trouble deciding between this one or the first Incredibles movie. It might even be that good. But it's a really good movie. With the one problem with it, though, is the motives of the villain. It just makes no sense. But I did find it as big of a problem as other people did. And the action is good, and it's just probably one of the best Pixar movies out there. And one of the most mature ones. At number 3 is Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse. This one is good. Some people even might say it's better than Homecoming. I'd say it's just as good as Homecoming. I'm not sure. Yeah. This is like a movie that showed Sony Pictures Animations. I'm not entirely thrilled on them just because of their track record and but you know, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. In my review, I said I didn't like the pacing of it. I thought it was too slow. At times, the pacing at times was rather fast than slow, and it got weird at times. But it's just, I can't explain it so good. You just need to watch it, though. The runner-up for the best movie, in my opinion, of the year that I saw, what a big title right there, is Black Panther. This is definitely a change of pace for the MCU. What with how all of the movies are all about just villain versus hero. I mean, more elaborate than that, but that is the main focus, you know what I mean. I hope you do. Please? But this one is rather about a king and his kingdom, and it's probably one of the most mature Marvel movies, if not the most mature Marvel movie without, an M rating. I'm talking about the MCU. So the most mature Marvel movie. It just feels different. Upon first glance, I don't think I actually liked it that much. Just because it just felt so different. But then, the more I thought about it, it's like, man, that's such a change of pace of what we're used to with the MCU. I think I really like that. And it deals with real-world problems, which is something good. And it shows its maturity. There's one thing I can nitpick about it. It's that what are those reference. And number one, I mean, was there any doubt? Especially if you're asking me, who did make a lot of videos about this movie, actually. Both pre- and post-release. It's Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War is my favorite movie of the year. I mean, I really like Marvel movies. So this takes every character, aside from AntMan and Hawkeye, which at first felt a little weird, but it takes all of them, aside from those two, and crams them together. I made that sound a lot worse than I meant to, but it puts them all in this movie trying to take down Thanos. The Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange, who hasn't met them before, all meet up and cross over on a quest to defeat Thanos and stop him from, like, it's all thrilling action, jokes at the right time, and all that gives you a frown at the end. I still can't tell you, because I don't want to spoil, but if you don't know what happens at this point, you're living under a rock. So that was it for this video. With this recording, it's over 20 minutes, but I don't know, maybe it's different if I edit this and cut stuff out, but I don't know, rank me all the movies you've seen, unless you've seen just about every movie, then don't do that. Rank me the ones you want to rank. If you agree with what I said about these movies, tell me in the comments below. If you don't, tell me why you don't agree with them. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.